Hello, this is TMMG, I'm Dylan and I'm here with Ethan, and we are playing Dishonored. So, you're the one playing this, Ethan. What do you think of it so far?
Well, I'm not really into sort of like these sort of style games, like assassin, sneaky games. I'm more like, yeah, let's blow some shit up. But yeah, first impressions, it was pretty different to what I normally play, but I liked it.
Yeah, and from what I've seen so far, the graphics, they're a cool twist on kind of realism switched in with the kind of cartoony feel of games, like Borderlands and those sort of games. So it's not something that you've really seen before, which I think is always quite nice to see in a game. Obviously, it's a new title, it's not a sequel to anything.
There was someone else to descend.
Yeah, and Bethesda made it, so it's got to be a good game.
But there is no one else. And the spy master.
Right, so what's this opening scene all about then, Ethan?
It's basically giving sort of like, it's more of an intro to people who designed it rather than like the storyline, but you get like
when you are near,
mediocrely try to be creepy voice. I don't know, creepy, it's like weird.
Yeah, to kind of fit in with the genre of the game. I think it's meant to really creep you out at some points, which, is always fun to see in a game. And what do you think of the controls as well?
It's pretty much the same controls, really. I mean, Fable 3 and all that sort of spring to mind when you play this game. All the controls are practically the same.
Yeah, which is always nice, you want originality in a game, but obviously the controls being easy to pick up is always handy for first-time players. So when's it set then? Because it's looking a bit of a mixed era kind of thing going on here.
Yeah, really hard to try to pinpoint sort of like where it was. It's sort of styled on like the steampunk, so it's like modern but with sort of a twist in it. But like if I had to put a date on it, sort of like Victorian-ish.
Yeah.
Like with some medieval bits as well. It's like all the characters are like French Revolution style, but like we've got like machines in this game which you probably would see in like an ordinary workshop, but like they run off of whale oil, so not sort of run-of-the-mill machines.
Yeah, I'm getting the whole feel to this, and yeah.
And like, now's like the perfect example. Like water starts flowing in from every side. It's like a lock you'd see at a canal or something.
Yes, it's very kind of technological base, even though it's got more of a old feel to it, definitely. Right, so what have we got from the storyline so far then?
We sort of gathered that you've been away on some sort of trip, but basically it's like you have to start speaking to more of the characters. Like you can speak to Jeff, chat to him, but this early on in the story you don't really get a lot of chance to talk to random characters. I found out they just give like 4-word answers.
So it's a lot like Skyrim then, which I know you didn't actually play that much of, but you get to go around and talk to pretty much every character in the game, and obviously later on I guess they'll be given side quests and everything.
It says that character is busy.
Yeah, it happens often in Skyrim as well, which I was a big fan of, so obviously it's an interesting game to check out, considering it's also by Bethesda. And I'm guessing this is your daughter, by the looks of it.
Actually, no, this isn't my daughter, this is the Empress's daughter. We're sort of like the Empress's security guard, like her personal security guard.
Okay.
And the little girl sort of looks up to you, because like, it appears that there's not a fatherly figure, like, because there's sort of, like, the way I'd look at this is like there would be a king rather than a queen in charge of like the overall land, but in this case there's no sort of king, so it sort of gives the impression to the player that you're like her fatherly role in the game.
Yeah, which means that you're obviously going to be a rather kind of strong character throughout it then, if you're quite high up in the whole hierarchy of things.
There's a little bit of the game sort of like I decided to do it just to show what people might not have chosen to do, but all it really is just control practice, how to handle the game.
Yeah.
But it's more just like play hide and seek with a little girl.
This is kind of a thing that you see in a lot of, you know, kind of cheap kind of online games with the whole stealthy aspect. So it's kind of changing a lot of aspects to a game. Like, you don't see this much in a lot of games, so it's obviously going to be quite a well-discussed game, I guess, considering that it's a whole new genre to itself, really.
Yep.
What about here?
Also, like just a couple of minutes back, well, seconds back, the character around her head had sort of like, you know, sort of like spark sort of symbols. And that just shows you how alert like the characters are to your presence in the game, which is a pretty nice touch.
Yes, it does kind of resemble a lot of free roams we've seen before again then, so like your notoriety obviously was in Assassin's Creed, and the whole kind of free roam talking to everyone Skyrim touch here, so it's not something completely new, but I like the way it's just mixing up the aspects of a lot of very popular games. So where are we heading now then?
We're heading back up to meet the Empress. To, like, talk to the officer, give you a little chat, like, it's nice to have you back, sort of thing.
Yes, you're obviously a well-known character in the game.
Yeah, here's like another sort of part that just gets on my nerves, like sort of the major roles of characters in the game, they will just literally stop and they will talk to you for like, it feels like an endless period of time.
Yeah, so it's one of those slow beginning games in, I guess.
Yeah, really slow, not like Black Ops where you're thrown straight into the thick of it.
Yeah, big fan of Black Ops, you. Yeah, I mean, this kind of has to be done in a free roam, so you can't really knock it for that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Assassin's Creed especially, there's a lot of slow beginnings and learning the game all over again.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can. All of them.
Very well.
We will not speak of this again.
So I'm guessing you're kind of part of the whole politics thing going on here as well then.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah, you're sort of portrayed as a sort of figure who's like a security guard, but an advisory as well.
Yeah.
It also gives the impression that not a lot of the actual senior characters of the game, like the generals, actually like you. It's more like they despise you. Whereas
So
sort of like the
you're
lower
kind of
downs,
like a figure that's, you know, kind of innovative and only respected by a couple of people, then I understand.
What
Yeah.
news have you brought?
so like here is where I got really confused. It literally just tells you to give the letter to the Empress, but like I was stood here pointing at her. I had no idea what the hell to do. Like jump around. I literally pressed every button on my keypad. Didn't work. Even thought I'd talk to her, and she told me nothing of anything useful. So I thought I'd get right up in her face, which I do in a couple of seconds. Go for a little walk, see if I've got to pick it up or something.
Yeah.
But literally, it's like there is no sort of control. So like, I get the option there, but it was a little bit of a fault. I'd have thought like to do it like that.
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be patched quite soon then, if that's kind of a reoccurring issue.
Hopefully.
I hope that one of the other cities had dealt with this before.
Also, I picked up the limited edition pack, and you get a nice pack of playing cards mixed with tarot cards. Now, they're a bit sort of big for everyday use. They're like a tenth, they're about the size of an A5, each one of them.
Yes, don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
But the box and all that is really nicely designed.
Where are the guards?
It's sort of carried on with the steampunk feel with it.
What are they doing on the roof?
Yeah.
A little bit too big to carry around with you every day, but still looks nice, feels nice to hold. Nice
I love all their clothes and everything, it's crazy. So this is the first kind of combat scene you see in the game then?
Yeah. One of the best things I thought of playing this game was sort of like, not so much the gore level of it, but like the actual moves when you're fighting. Like, as you get on into the game, more fight moves develop. Like, you just stab down through their head, or like...
Well, that's, yeah. See your whole critical movements and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and some crazy magic shit's going on. Oh. Empress just got bitched.
It's all good, my virus database is updated. Empress will not be Empress will be protected by my antivirus.
It's all coming apart.
Oh, that's a shame, she wasn't bad looking either.
Find Emily.
Well, that horrible mole right in the middle of her lip.
Beauty spot, beauty.
Won't you?
And she's dead. And I'm now fucked. At this point now you get the seniors palming the blame off to you. They're sort of spinning it off, it's your fault.
Yeah, as it always happens in these games. It's always your fault. So is this coming up to the point where you see in the game trailer where it's the whole you in prison kind of thing?
Actually, I think that was just a theatrical trailer because, like, there was only one scene where you're actually in prison, but you don't actually have the mark which you see on your hand, which comes a little bit later on, where you go to sleep and you wake up and you go into this like dream world where it teaches you how to use all the moves you've now gained. Here's now sort of like a really sort of, well, not so much gory, but sort of, I don't know how to explain it, sort of torture-ish style, which is always interesting to see. So like now you're getting branded by a great big red hot poker. You get like the red
dick of a general guy again, then
yeah, you get like the red scenes, the sort of red screen, sort of around you.
Yeah. So is that going to be the damage meter in this game then? Or?
Yeah, that's just sort of like very similar to Black Ops, Battlefield, games like that. Red screen, flashing, controller starts vibrating, and it's like dies.
Yeah. Big messed up face guy.
Yeah, they sort of all the sort of people who are not very friendly, we should say, in the game, sort of has a not so nice face.
They're all bold. So I'm guessing you're going to be coming back to kill this guy later on in the game.
Yeah, the first sort of major assassination you do is on the guy in the red jacket, who I don't think this now flicks to, but it's on the red side.
Yeah.
So that's the first part for this little intro for Dishonored.
Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe and watch the next part. Thank you very much for watching. This was TMMG. I was Dylan and that was Ethan, and goodbye.